I decided to try my American Express card, and lo and behold, it worked like a charm. Can you use the app to reserve tickets if you have the JR Pass? Did you have a tour bus around the Mount Fuji spots, or did you travel independently? Hi friend, my name is Sarah and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought I would share some of the frequently asked questions that I have been getting on my Instagram. And if you do not follow me on Instagram, make sure you do, because I post a lot of reels multiple times a day even on more Japan travel tips, travel hacking, cruise tips, and so much more. I've actually been getting a lot of comments with really great questions, and I thought I would share them today with my YouTube community. So let's get started. Someone asked, can you share more information about the bus from Narita to Tokyo? There are actually a few different options to get from the Narita airport to Tokyo station, but of course I did the cheapest option available to me, and that is just to take the shuttle bus from the airport to Tokyo station. If you want more information, you can also go to tyo-nrt.com. It's a website for that specific shuttle bus from the Narita airport. It cost me $8.72 per person for that one-way ride, and it was actually pretty nice and pretty convenient. The only thing is that you might get stuck in traffic, so it might take longer than an hour. It is only $8.72, so it was actually a really good option for me. Unfortunately, you cannot book the ticket in advance, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to book it in advance anyway, because it might take some time to go through immigration depending on how many passengers are landing at the same time as you do. I think it's better to just make sure that you land, go through immigration, custom, and also pick up your luggage before you get the ticket. When I landed on Terminal 1 at Narita, after I go through all of that immigration, custom, and picking up my luggage, I just look for the low-cost bus ticket counter and get my bus tickets from that counter. If you worry about not having Japanese yen on the time that you first land in Japan, don't worry, because you can definitely use your credit cards to purchase those bus tickets. And one last tip that I have for you about the airport bus: you can only put one luggage per person underneath the bus. There is a couple who has 4 luggage total. They can only put 2 of their bigger luggage underneath, and they have to basically put the other luggage next to them on the bus. If the bus is full, probably wouldn't have leg space, because that is where your luggage is gonna be. So just keep that in mind if you are planning to take the bus. If you have a lot of luggage, maybe the train might be a better option for you, or maybe a taxi. But taking taxi from Narita to Tokyo is gonna be so expensive, because Narita airport is pretty far from the Tokyo center. Hi friends, Sarah's here, and I'm so sorry to interrupt today's video, but I just want to come on here really quickly to announce that I have a new freebie that you can download today. I have been sharing a lot of my recommendations and tips on how to go about planning your very first trip to Japan, and I created a very simple 12-day Japan itinerary that was inspired from my own trip to Japan. If you want to go check it out, the link will be down in the description box below. And now let's get back to the video. The next question, somebody asked, I will go with my 2 teenage sons. Do I have to buy 3 Suka cards? Yes, you do. Unfortunately, you cannot share a Suka card, whether it's the physical card or the one on your phone. You basically have to tap in and out of the station every single time you go on a train ride. If they have their own phone and the phone has the capability to actually add a Suka card, that is gonna be the best option for you. I think last year when I was going to Japan, there is a shortage in the chips that they put in the physical IC card. You might want to check online to see if the physical card in Japan is now available. I think you can buy one that is specifically for travelers, so it expires in like 30 days or maybe 6 months or something. I'm not really sure. The Suica card on my phone is probably the best option. Your phone is gonna be with you all of the time. You know you're not gonna leave it behind, so you can just tap in and out at the gate with your phone. It is really easy. I would highly recommend just getting the Suica card or the IC card on your phone. The next question is about the SmartX app, which is the app that I use to buy my Shinkansen ticket. And somebody asked, do they sell round-trip tickets, or do we have to do 2 single one-way rides? Can we book or return in advance? On the SmartX app, you can actually book a round-trip ticket if you are getting on and off at the same stations. I didn't notice until I get that questions and actually check on my app. If you are getting on in Tokyo Station and getting off in Kyoto Station, for example, and when you are coming back, you are getting on the Kyoto Station to Tokyo Station on the Shinkansen, you can just book the round trip tickets right then and there. I'm pretty sure you can book the return tickets in advance. I think the SmartX apps advise that you just book a month in advance, because if you book a little bit way more than that, sometimes the schedule might change. And if you already have your itinerary set up, you know where you're gonna be going, what time, and the date and stuff like that, and it's about maybe a month or maybe a couple months away even, I would highly recommend just booking your ticket, especially if you want to get the reserved seating ticket, because sometimes they do sell out, they do get full, especially if you have kind of like a time crunch, you want to leave Tokyo by a certain time because you want to get to your destination by a certain time. Make sure you book your ticket in advance. The next question is still about the SmartX apps, and I actually get multiple comments about this, so I'm just gonna summarize what the question was. Can you use the app to reserve tickets if you have the JR Pass? Unfortunately, no, you cannot use the SmartX app to book reservation ticket if you have the JR Pass. It is only for individual tickets if you do not have the JR Pass. I personally didn't get the JR Pass because it was too expensive for me, so I didn't really do a lot of research. When I was scripting this video, I wanted to make sure that I have some answer for you if you do have this question as well, but just by doing a quick Google search, if you have the JR Rail Pass, you can actually try and book and reserve your seat at the train station once you land in Japan. I'm not sure if you can do it in all of the train stations, even the small JR stations, but I know with 100% certainty that you can definitely reserve your seat at Tokyo Station, because Tokyo Station is one of the Shinkansen station or Shinkansen stop. You can actually book your ticket on the Ekinet website. It's the JR East train reservation service website. I did not get the JR Rail Pass, so I'm not really sure how it works, but if you just do a quick Google search, I think you will have your best answers there. There are also a bunch of videos, blog posts, probably TikToks and Instagram Reels from people who did use the JR Rail Pass and who also probably make reservation for their Shinkansen rides. Make sure you utilize those resources. Before moving on to the next thing in the video, I just want to interrupt this video really quickly just to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I think 98% of you who are watching my video is not a subscriber, and I would love it for you to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any of my future videos about Japan, about cruising, travel hacking, and so much more. I hope to see you on the next one, and now let's get back to the video. Last question about the SmartX app, and I do get multiple of this as well. The gist of the question is, the app isn't available everywhere, aka for non-US travelers. How can we still use it? With almost any app that we have on our phones, there is always a website version of it, and that is also the case with the SmartX app. There's actually a SmartX website. It's probably about the same layout as the app, but I'm pretty sure it is accessible for people who are not in the US. I have so many comments from people on Instagram saying that the app is not available in their country. Most of the people who do not have access to the app on their phone do not live in the US. Most of them actually is from Europe. So if you are in Europe, make sure to check the SmartX website and let me know if that would work for you to buy your individual Shinkansen ticket. Piggybacking on some of the other concern about the SmartX app, one other thing that people are really annoyed about is the fact that it's hard to find the right credit card to connect to their SmartX account. I did try to pay for my tickets with my Visa card, with my MasterCard card, but none of them work. I decided to try my American Express card, and lo and behold, it worked like a charm, which is super weird because if you have traveled quite often, American Express is not as accepted as Visa and MasterCard. That is why it's kind of weird that the SmartX app only accepted my American Express card. So let me know in the comment if you have successfully bought your Shinkansen tickets on the SmartX app or even the website, which type of credit card did you use? Worst comes to worst, there are also other options that you can utilize if you want to book your Shinkansen ticket in advance. Some people say that they use Klook to book their Shinkansen ticket. I have been on Klook and I did look if you could book Shinkansen ticket there, and yes you can. I don't think you can do a reservation, but I'm sure there are some workaround. Let me know in the comment if you have bought Shinkansen tickets not from the SmartX app or the website. Let me know where did you find your Shinkansen ticket. Let's move on from the SmartX app and website question. So many people have actually asked me if I have my itinerary still and if I can share it with them. And yes, I still have them. It is actually a freebie that I've been sharing the past few months. One night, I was just kind of bored and I have nothing to do. So I decided to go on Canva and I type out basically what I did for 12 days in Japan, which region of Japan I am at, and also what are some of the main attractions that I decided to do that day. So you can download it if you want to. The link will be in the description box below. And if you do download it, make sure to let me know if there's anything I should add, remove, change, or anything like that. I would love to hear your feedback. The next few questions are actually related to the day trip that I did from Tokyo to Mount Fuji. Someone asked, how do you get around in Mount Fuji area? Walking, or is there any public transportation? I guess I would say it's a combination of walking, taking the local bus, as well as the local train. I'm gonna break it down to you what kind of transportation we took for the whole day. We were staying in the Shinjuku area, so we took the bus from the Shinjuku Expressway bus terminal to the Shimo Yoshida bus stop. From there, we actually walked through a neighborhood to go to this famous Honcho street. So after we take a couple pictures, we actually walked to the Shimo Yoshida train station. It's a different location from the bus stop, and we took the train to Fuji-Q Highland. Fuji-Q Highland is basically a small theme park. I don't think it's small, probably medium size, that is actually free to get in, which is really cool, and it is another place where you can see Mount Fuji. After we are done taking pictures and walking around the Fuji-Q Highland theme park, we took the local bus to the Kawaguchiko train station. If you are taking the train from Tokyo, you probably will stop at this station, and if you take the bus, you can also stop in Kawaguchiko station. This is probably the hub for everybody going from Tokyo to Mount Fuji, and maybe Tokyo, Mount Fuji to Gotemba or something. It was a busy station. But anyways, from that station, we actually walked to the Mount Fuji ropeway and boat ride area. This is probably the longest walk we did. It was about 30 minutes. I couldn't remember if there's a bus or not, but we decided to just walk, or I decided to just walk because I wanna look around the fall leaves and just all of the scenery, the houses, cars, they're all so different. If you don't want to walk, you can also take a taxi. I've seen taxis passing by us. Pretty sure there's a local bus. I just didn't bother to look it up. From the ropeway and boat ride area, we obviously walked back to the Kawaguchiko train station because that is where we took the bus back to Tokyo. It was actually pretty easy, pretty seamless. Google Map is gonna be your best friend. It's pretty accurate even for like the walking direction. So make sure you download Google Map and also download offline map of Japan. Next question, like I said, it's still about the Mount Fuji activity. Somebody asked, where do I buy a ticket for the boat ride? So if you do have Google Map, which I think you have to when you're in Japan, search for Lake Kawaguchiko sightseeing boat on Google Map and you will find the marina. The boat ride ticket is not something you can book in advance. You have to go on site on the day you want to go on the boat ride and buy the tickets in the marina. I want to say that the machine only takes cash. I got the combination ticket with the ropeway, so I used my credit card at the ropeway station just in case. Bring a couple thousand yens or so for the ticket. And just FYI, the last boat ride is gonna leave the marina at 4:30 p.m. So if you want to get on the boat ride, make sure you be at the marina before then. Next question. Somebody asked, did you have a tour bus around the Mount Fuji spots or did you travel independently? If so, was that easy to do? Yeah, we didn't join any tour bus or anything like that in Mount Fuji. To be honest with you, it is actually pretty easy to get around Mount Fuji. I did a lot of research beforehand, so I know where I wanted to go in the Mount Fuji area and then map it out on Google Maps. And when you get there, you just open your Google Map and get direction to the different locations that you wanted to go to. If you want to know what I did throughout the day when I went to the Mount Fuji area, there is a video that I've already uploaded last week, so make sure to check that out after this video. Last but not least, somebody asked, did you book on the fly when you see good weather or visibility, or did you book in advance and hope for the best? I honestly just booked in advance because I only have one day to go to Mount Fuji and honestly hoped for the best. But we were actually really lucky because on the day that we went to Mount Fuji, it was definitely a clear day. It was sunny, there was no cloud. It was actually pretty hot for me. So we were able to see Mount Fuji really clearly from everywhere that we chose to see Mount Fuji. I feel like it might not be the best strategy because what if you decided to go for one day and it is cloudy? Other people have mentioned that they usually stay for a couple nights in the Mount Fuji area, so in case when they get there it's cloudy, they have a couple more chances for a clear day and a couple more chances to see Mount Fuji. One thing that I could also share with you as a tip, if you have more flexibility, go on YouTube, Google Mount Fuji live camera. There's actually a few different point of view of a live camera in the area that point into Mount Fuji, so you can tell in the morning if it's cloudy or not. I'm not sure if that is like the best way, because even if you see Mount Fuji clear in the morning, it's gonna take you about an hour to two from Tokyo anyway, and during that time the day could change into cloudy. So it totally depends on how you want to play around with your strategy, but I think the best bet is to stay in the Mount Fuji area for maybe one night or 2 nights if you really want to see Mount Fuji. Another thing that people also say, they just see Mount Fuji on the way to either Kyoto or Osaka when they are taking the Shinkansen, or if you are flying you can actually look down and you can see Mount Fuji from the plane. But I don't think it's that fun because there's so many things you can do in Mount Fuji area, in the Fuji Yoshida, Shimo Yoshida, and Kawaguchiko area. Like if I'm going back to Japan, I might want to go back to those 3 places and just do more things around there. Those are all of the questions that people ask about Japan on my Instagram. If you have any other questions that you want to ask me, leave them in a comment below and maybe I will make a part 2 of this frequently asked questions about Japan video.